Hi, we are Group 1 and we will be discussing the variance analysis of GYX. My name is Sam.
I'm Claudia.
I'm Xiang.
A variance is a difference between the actual results and budgeted performance. Variances enable managers to focus on areas which are not operating as expected. A static budget or master budget is based on a single output level planned at the beginning of the period. The static budget variance is the difference between the actual result and the corresponding budgeted amount in the static budget. A favorable variance increases operating income relative to the budgeted amount, and an unfavorable variance decreases operating income relative to the budgeted amount. The static budget variance can be subdivided into a flexible budget variance and sales volume variance, also known as a contribution margin variance, which will provide managers with a more in-depth understanding of why actual results differ from the budgeted performance. I will now pass it on to Claudia to talk about the flexible budget variance.
The flexible budget calculates budgeted revenues and costs on the actual output in the budget period. It is prepared at the end of the period. It is the budget that would have been prepared if management knew in advance what the actual output would have been at the start of the period. The flexible budget variance is the difference between the actual results and the corresponding flexible budget amount. CYX had a favorable flexible budget variance for operating income of $31,928. This resulted from a favorable flexible budget variance of revenue of $30,400 and a favorable flexible budget variance of variable costs of $1,728, as both increased operating income. Revenue had a favorable flexible budget variance because the actual per unit sales price of $197.60 was higher than the budgeted per unit sales price of $190. CYX was able to charge a higher price for the product due to factors such as a higher quality or an increase in demand for the product. Variable costs had a favorable flexible budget variance because the actual cost of $183.77 was lower than the budgeted per unit cost of $184.20, which could have been a result of paying less for direct materials or direct labor. Now I will pass it to Xiang to speak about the sales volume variance.
Same to the flexible budget variance. The sales volume variance is the difference between flexible budget and the static budget. When the flexible budget shows more gain or less costs than the static budget, there is a favorable sales volume variance. The opposite is called an unfavorable amount. The finding shows the sales volume for operating income is 2,900 favorable. The figure is calculated by adding all sales volume variance together. Static budget uses the budgeted unit sold to calculate the revenue. As a result, the difference between the static budget and flexible budget on revenue is only due to the difference in the unit sold, because they both use the budgeted selling price as a base. Same to the revenue, the differences between variable costs on both flexible budget and the static budget is only caused by the difference of unit sold. For the other cost accounts such as the flexible cost and the marketing, distribution, cost service costs, flexible budget and the static budget both use the same standard to calculate the unit sold is not involved. Therefore, the sales volume variance for operating income is only the difference between contribution margin for both flexible budget and the static budget due to the unit sold variance, which is 2,900 favorable.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed our presentation.